demonic angel. Tonight I'm going to cover the King of Pentacles. A very luxurious, decadent card here. And, yeah. So, this guy, of course, right off the bat, does remind me of the Four of Pentacles. Except he's kind of like the father or grandfather of the Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles, we have the man kind of guarding himself, sitting, you know, he's huge against the backdrop of a city. So, and he's like this younger looking guy, you know, this is like ruthlessly having to become successful, you know, is the make or break point of your life, really. So it's very much a competitive mentality that, you know, becoming successful in some ways does require. But then, you know, we have this maturation here into the King of Pentacles. So he has, you know, the rams on his throne. And then he has the this gold here, and that's just this really tie with his with materialism. And so this materialism and fertility. So this guy, he can make anything grow. He can, you know, sire some children. I think that's how old speak was, but and he has these resources. He really is materialism incarnate in this positive sense. He's kind of like gazing at his pentacle like a crystal ball. He's very much likes to calmly meditate, you know, and think deeply, and that's a part of, I think, what makes this guy so successful. Because, you know, I like to characterize the tarot as kind of people, because then I think that makes, you know, it has to take some form. You know, and he's got the red and again the gold crown. Materialism, but materialism in this, you know, kind of a positive sense of manifestation is what we really mean. And, you know, the castle's behind him. This guy, he's got this really awesome pad, you know. And then we even have here at his side another ram's head, just fertility. But he does have the one, you know, the steel-toed, or just the steel boots, really, peeking out from here. And that's kind of talking about his connection to, he's seen some battles, some wars. He personally went out and was just part of the regular man at some point, and that's a part of his success. That's how he knows people, the human psyche so well, is because he, you know, personally fought battles and probably got promoted through these ranks to being in charge of other people. But this guy, he really does cherish his responsibilities, and he nurtures them. So we look at, you know, we're looking at all these grapes, and, you know, of course you can turn grapes into wine, but grapes are kind of a fickle thing, and making wine is not really an easy, but it's not fast process, right? So what we're talking about is having the patience to turn something simple into luxury. So again, this is, hey, this is just these reminders that, you know, the mindfulness and budgeting, because this is the Pentacles with the earthly plane, can really manifest into something big, your savings. It can really do a lot at the right time in your future if you invest in things that make sense in yourself, your savings. I mean, you know, some simple examples would be like, if you just, like, you know, go through the drive-through a couple less times a week or month, whatever applies to you, that can just really save you a lot of money, and fast. I mean, in 6 months, you know, whatever you're looking at, let's just say that it's like $150. I mean, there might be that time where you're really going to need that, and from there you can build that. And that all comes from a simpler time, a more basic time, just living in that experience of learning how to be successful with a little. So as well, like, I think there was some guy who, he's really rich. I was, you know, watching an interview about him recently. I did forget his name, but he goes, you know, let me tell you one of my secrets. Like, I just would not pay random people to just, you know, do these things like coffee and food for me, like more than like once a year, because it's about, you know, you're being charged 80% of what that is for convenience. So if you just find a way to make that yourself, and you can easily make a lot of stuff, you know, this, we're not talking about, hey, never indulge again. That's not what this is. This is just this mindfulness, and it can manifest into a lot. But I also mentioned that because, you know, he was like referencing, like, there's a lot of other rich people that they have a lot and they go broke fast, because that adds up. That's that warning too, that, I mean, you can be completely successful and you can squander it over simple things that all add up together, you know, like swords. And that's just, you know, not what we have here, because we have this guy, and he's cultivating his responsibilities. So, because he's kind of like this older father or grandfather, you know, we can assume that he really, like, you know, is in that mindset that teenagers need some help, like his teenage children, let's say. And he has this room and this patience in his life to sit and listen, because he knows, what do people who are acting troubled need? Just someone to listen right off the bat. That'll really get, you know, rapport established with so many people that are just having troubles. So by listening, you know, he can really get into that mindset and try to figure out how to help his children, his subjects, his clients, the best way that he can, by throwing them a little bit. This isn't a generous, you know, philanthropist just dropping off money somewhere, but being involved. And hey, if you really go to school, you know, I'll start paying for, let's just say, some of your tuition. But when somebody becomes more and more successful, he sees the effort, he'll really nurture this, and, you know, that will be shown in a material way. But material things are not just given away to spoil people. That is not what this guy is. So, you know, and I mean, there's that really connection to fertility, but, you know, the fertility of ideas. And this, you know, this is a very powerful guy. You know, you still wouldn't want to mess with him, because he's seen some stuff. He physically engaged in battles, and he is not afraid to, you know, step away and join the fight again. He's very much a shrewd observer of the human psyche. So when we talk about people who are professionals, who are successful, and they do have that wealth and abundance, yet they're still very much able to connect with the common man and just be able to place themselves in their shoes. Even though, you know, we never really go what another person goes through, there's just, he can automatically figure out how to relate. And that makes this guy such a really amazing, like, asset to Earth, honestly. Just being generous in the right ways, and being personal about it. Like I said, not just dropping off money, but engaging and listening. And he is giving back. He's giving back I mean, he's gardening. So he's literally giving back now that he has. So this guy, he really didn't forget what it was like. And I really love this card. It's very beautiful. I love to think of the Four of Pentacles as kind of like his son or his, grandson, maturing from this industrial mindset of competitiveness and ruthlessness, cold, calculating, logical, to get to the top, and then that kind of softens with age into this more open, listening, involved father, grandfather, philanthropist in that way, but very personal. And that's how you get there, though. So instead of, as opposed to like where the Four of Pentacles, if he's reversed, and that his rise to the top just makes him cold and unwilling to share. I mean, this is more like you squander your money, like we mentioned. That's just a great example of the warning here. Another aspect of this card is not being personal. So you're just like, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna send $500 to my distant niece or something every year at Christmas. But you don't call, you're not involved. It's not personal. There's nothing learned. There's no exchange. So, it's just cold. It still continues to be cold. And like I said, it wasn't that graceful maturation that I think age does. Age opens up a lot of people's hearts. But for some people, it hardens their hearts. So, we always want that flow of energy to be upright. And, you want to be personal, involved, and realize that money is definitely not everything. Kind of hiding behind, I've even seen this for even, regular middle-class people. Hiding behind, like if you're stressed, you're just going to go to the nail salon, shopping, whatever, shopping online, then you can go out shopping, and now you can come back and go shopping again. And it's just hiding and drowning in this materialism. It's no different than addiction, except for, with physical addiction substances, you get a different component associated with withdrawal. But the psychological is pretty much the same. So, that running away, hiding yourself, like, how he's like alone here, okay. He's just going to hide behind all the stuff he has. And you can't get to him. You cannot reach this guy emotionally. He only cares about if he wants his latte chino mocha, right? He wants it then and now, and he doesn't give a fuck about what you want, right? There's no patience. He can't connect with people, where he used to be. On his rise to the top, he looks at people and thinks, oh, those dirty poor people, I hope they move away from me. This server needs to get over here faster. Me, 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 me. And it's never a thought in this guy's kind of mind of other people. I wonder what their motives are, what they're thinking, why, how can I understand or help? I'm just going to even listen. This is just that closed. And you can get those associations of just squandering that money, but just choosing to use it to run away. And then in this case, be kind of like the cold grandfather, father, patriarch that just doesn't connect with anybody at all. Can't just, provide comfort. And so that's okay. We're all going to get stuck here, but it's just a matter of, turning the frown upside down, as they say. And we've got a bright sunny day, no clouds in the sky, almost like a beautiful fall day. I don't know why I think that it reminds me of fall, but It just probably the colors. So yeah, thank you so much. You can check out my Patreon page. I will be doing my next live stream on the 3rd Friday of this month. So expect that, and then I'll see you guys in the next video.